Hi.
Hi. Hello, everyone out there at YouTube.
My stomach kind of hurts. I'm not going to lie. All right.
Well, if your stomach's hurting, maybe you should head on over to Trader Joe's and get yourself some Pepto-Bismol. But I gotta warn you. This episode of The Rundown is brought to you by DraftKings.com. Make sure to log on now and use the promo code WashedUpWrestler. Wait, why is the promo code WashedUpWrestler? Is that supposed to be me?
It's the worst. That is the worst. That is the worst Chris Jericho impression I've ever heard.
Come on, baby.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right. And I think I am ready, even though my stomach hurts. We'll make it work.
Do we get more views if you shit your pants on YouTube?
I don't know. Let's find out. All right. Episode 194. The Late Show. 3, 2, 1, record. This week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by Audible, the leading provider of audiobooks on the internet. That's right, folks. We've jumped on the bandwagon. Apparently, we've also humped on the bandwagon. For a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial, go to audibletrial.com/rundown today. Looking for a wrestling-related title? Try Shawn Michaels' new book, Wrestling for My Life, the legend, the reality, and the faith of a WWE superstar, as narrated by Daniel Butler, whoever that is. Want something more thrilling? How about Stephen King's It, as narrated by Steven Weber? Want something that's total fantasy? Try Rush Limbaugh's The Way Things Ought to Be, narrated by Rush himself.
Or if you're really in for a good read, try China, If They Only Knew. That's right. That exists.
Is that on Audible?
That might be.
I'll check for next week. That's audibletrial.com/rundown. This week's episode of The Rundown is also brought to you by Neville brand moon boots. You too can feel like you've been forgotten by gravity when you bounce around in a pair of Neville brand moon boots. Remember moon boots?
I do remember moon boots.
They were all the rage on Nickelodeon in the early 90s. Like every fucking Nickelodeon show had something that involved moon boots, especially Wild and Crazy Kids.
Sweet. I just looked it up. China's book is not available, but there is a China's Secret Place Adventure, which I think is the name of our next porno.
Gross. Do you want to take an adventure in my secret place?
Ooh.
AJ Lee. Speaking of adventures in secret places, AJ Lee, seemingly out of the blue, retired last Friday, as announced by WWE's Twitter and then talked about every fuckwhere else since. The hashtag #ThankYouAJ then became a worldwide #1 trend on Twitter. What other hashtags can we get trending about AJ on Twitter?
Maybe hashtag AJ for next GM.
No, they tried that already. It didn't work too good.
Dang.
I was going to say maybe hashtag AJ Brazzers.
Oh.
Hashtag PayJ Brazzers.
Ooh. If you'll excuse me a second, I got some business to take care of. And that business, of course.
Did you say that business is my penis?
Yes.
All right.
I just need to clarify.
It'll make your dick hard.
It'll make your dick hard.
Less likely to kill a guy than Scott Steiner in an airport. It's episode 194 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Thursday, April the 9th, 2015. Joining me this week, back from hiatus, Troy's here.
That's right. Coming to you live from the Slightly Broken Skull Ranch. It's Austin 316. And this episode...
Ranch. Is that the Concussion Ranch?
That's right. You know, they asked me to be a contestant on Tough Enough. I mean a host on Tough Enough. Or maybe they wanted me to produce it. I don't know. I've taken a lot of shots to the head.
The Hidden Valley Ranch.
Oh, there you go.
Still the worst Chris Jericho impression I've ever heard.
Come on, baby. This here's a cut from the new track from Fozzy. This is Hair Metal is Dead.
Hair Metal is Dead.
It's autobiographical.
Yeah. Did you see the April Fool's picture that Jericho posted on his Instagram?
Nope. What was
it? He claimed that he had shaved his head for a part in a movie or something that he was offered, and that he couldn't turn down, and this was one of the conditions, and it was him. It was a picture of him with a shaved head, supposedly. But what it was a picture of him in the back of a car, and he had taken Triple H's scalp and put it on his head. It was actually a pretty good Photoshop job, not gonna lie.
Was that a role in Sharknado 5?
Yeah, possibly.
That's assuming. I'm assuming that's the only roles that Chris Jericho could get.
Sharknado, the fifth one.
Oh, the fifth one.
Yeah. Chris
Jericho himself, he would just stand in front of the shark in his little pose there, say, "Come on, baby!" and get eaten.
So yeah, AJ Lee retired this week. Last week. Yeah.
I know. I saw a bunch of speculation on it, and honestly, I mean, it was a long time coming. You know, I mean, I know for a fact that if my significant other was being sued by the company, I wouldn't really want to work for him. So.
Right, exactly.
And everyone's like, "Oh, she must have left because she's pregnant." No, she left because her husband's getting sued, and left that company because he was mistreated. You think they were treating her any better? No.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently she informed WWE of her decision to retire after her match at WrestleMania. Of course, as you mentioned, in large part influenced by the lawsuit by Chris Amon. Supposedly
it wasn't helped any by the fact that she was in a tag team match at WrestleMania. Yeah. The belt wasn't on the line.
But supposedly the submission victory that she got over Nikki was supposed to set up a feud between them for the title. So
would she have also lost that match by getting kissed?
But that, thankfully, thank God AJ retired, because now that feud is going to Naomi.
Yes. So hopefully this time around, since Naomi's getting a push, maybe they'll break her other eye socket.
Yeah, because they're interchangeable.
Yeah, pretty much.
One can actually wrestle. One just hits you in the face with her ass repeatedly.
That's right.
Anyway.
Way to bring some prestige to the Divas Championship. Give Divas a chance. Let's not give Paige a chance. Let's not give Bayley or Emma or anyone that can wrestle without slamming their fat ass into someone's face. Let's give Cameron the chance.
The other one.
Nope. I'm sorry. Racist. Naomi a chance. As AJ Lee once said, talent is not sexually transmitted.
Yeah. So so Naomi, speaking of Naomi, this is just something I noticed a couple of weeks ago. She started wearing ring gear that's reminiscent of the Usos gear, including
she's got the dumb Uso flag football thing.
I was going to say, including the butt flag.
Yep.
But her butt flag doesn't say Uso. Her butt flag says now. Because apparently it couldn't fit Naomi on it. Or she's just a huge fan of the New Age Outlaws.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Yeah. I wasn't aware that it said something different because I normally fast forward her matches.
As well you should, my friend. As well you should.
And I'm sure nobody on Hulu has seen or even heard of her. So.
All right. Andy unfortunately could not be with us today.
STD. Real bad one.
But he did leave us a voicemail. If I can remember which one it is, I think it's this one.
Hey, Rundown, this is Andy. First of all, I just want to say that if you've ever called the voicemail, the first thing it asks you is if you would like to leave a fax.
Yes, you are not the first person to point that out. I know it asks for faxes. I don't know what would actually happen if you attempted to send a fax to the voicemail, but apparently you can send a fax to the voicemail. Somebody from the 1980s with a fax machine, give us a call and find out what happens when you send a fax to the voicemail.
Someone called Psycho Sid.
Rather interesting in this day and age. Anyway, I'm not able to be on the show this week, so I wanted to make sure that I at least got my voice heard on a few random bits of current WWE and otherwise related news. First of all, quick question for whoever's on tonight. AJ Lee retiring from WWE. Good, bad? Is this an opportunity for NXT divas to make their way up? I can't remember if we talked about that last week or not because my memory is fairly selective these days, but it might be worth discussing.
Already talked about it. Next.
Whoops.
TNA, and more particularly Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle did a recent interview with, I think it was Sports Center, ESPN, something like that, and he opened up a little bit about the failed attempts to come back to WWE. Do you think that WWE made the wrong move? I know we've talked about that before, and is this really what happened, or is it sour grapes with Kurt?
So yeah, I was reading about this as I was, getting ready for the show tonight. Kurt Angle gave an interview to ESPN where he was talking about his interactions with WWE when he was deciding where to go, whether to re-sign with TNA or to try and join WWE for one last run. And according to Kurt Angle, he was, trying to talk to Triple H and get a meeting with Triple H so he could talk about coming back. And supposedly Hunter told him they had enough talent and didn't need any more and canceled a meeting with him. So he signed back up with TNA, who were willing to give him everything he wanted in terms of the deal and in terms of money and in terms of dates and in terms of giving him time off to rest and rehab. And WWE supposedly blew him off completely.
When you're playing your voicemails, it looks like you're trying to feed your microphone into that thing.
It's a speaker.
Yeah, but it looks like you're like jamming it in there. Like,
well, I have to put the microphone right onto the top of it.
Yeah,
so that
just eat it. In terms of Kurt Angle, I'm sure he's just butthurt. Triple H is busy, and plus, I mean, he wanted to come back as a part timer most likely because that's what he is on TNA.
Right.
So they've already got this part-time guy that they're spending a lot of money on who actually brings in viewership. Kurt Angle, as a part-timer in TNA, they're still under 1 million viewers an episode. So there's probably a good reason why they didn't sign you. And he's probably just butthurt because he's another one of those wrestlers who thinks that, oh, I had all this great time in WWE. You should bow down and lick my balls. I mean, get over it. And what were they going to do with him anyways? They would probably have him in a feud with Jack Swagger, maybe have a feud with Rusev, and then he would be gone. Yeah.
I know Andy had talked quite a bit about how Kurt Angle coming back should have been the end of Rusev's streak. That Kurt Angle should have been the one to end the streak and take the United States Championship off of Rusev. So,
well, considering how it ended, it would have been better. But if it would have ended in a different way with a young guy taking it off him, then I wouldn't have wanted Kurt Angle to take it off him because that's an old dude who doesn't need another title reign, which is what they did anyways. And you know what? They can actually make some money off of Cena. So same thing happened one way or the other. No, I mean, Angle, like I said, is probably just they didn't shake my hand when I came in, and they didn't exactly blow you off. They canceled their stuff. It would have been different if you would have showed up and they would have like texted you like, "Oops, sorry, we forgot about your meeting."
Yeah.
That's blowing you off. But no, they did you the favor by being like, no, we don't really need you.
Speaking of Cena, did you watch the Jericho podcast on the network?
No.
No. Okay. Well, apparently I didn't either, because I was in bed at the time. But apparently, during the interview, John Cena revealed that during his feud with The Rock, he nearly turned heel. So our dying friend almost got his wish during Cena versus Rock. I don't know if that was the lead up to 29, 30, or no, 28, 29, or the Royal Rumble, but whichever, either way.
I'm going to go ahead and say that that's bullshit. They're very aware of the fact that everyone wants them to turn heel, so this is their way of having their cake and eating it too, being like, oh, I almost turned heel. Oh, I almost turned heel when I joined the Nexus. Oh, yeah, they have no intention of ever turning this dude heel. He is the Hulk Hogan of this generation. And as long as he keeps selling merchandise, they're not going to turn him heel. So they have to keep throwing the smarks a bone and be like, oh, you almost had it. It was this close. You almost turned heel. The guy is half a heel anyways right now.
All right, back to this then.
Back to this.
As I log back into my phone here. Eat it.
And then finally, boxers or briefs. So those are the three things that maybe I'd like you to talk about, and have a good show. Bye.
Boxers or briefs?
Bright pink thong, actually.
Oh, intriguing.
That's something new. The more you know.
See, I would have pegged you for more of a kind of a sky blue, maybe a purple situation, but grapefruit pink. Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, purple is my favorite color. That's the color of my bras that I wear.
Ah, that explains it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to this voicemail.
What the hell? I was listening for Soup, and then I got a wrestling podcast last week. What the hell's up with that?
You're not funny, Bill.
That wasn't even a gimmick. Like, what was he trying to be there?
That's just Bill. That's just Bill being Bill.
That's just Billy Boy.
All right, let's talk to Sal.
What's up, Rundown? I'm calling this week to talk to you about clam chowder. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. No, I'm calling you this week to talk about gazpacho. Nope, that's not it either. Damn it. What am I calling you to talk about? Oh, that's right. I'm calling you to talk about wrestling because it's a wrestling podcast. And I don't care how many people like Soup. It's going to stay a wrestling podcast. But I digress. Because if I'm here to talk about wrestling, then let's talk about Monday Night Raw. I would like to tell you that Raw was not that interesting. It seems like they're kind of losing steam, which, hey, it's after WrestleMania. It's that part of the season, so I'm not surprised. Couple interesting points. Bray Wyatt cut a new promo. First time we've heard from him since the Undertaker match. And he seems to be addressing somebody specifically. And if I'm playing the guessing game of who's he addressing, I would think he's either addressing Roman Reigns or Ryback. Seems like all the other top faces are already booked with other people, so it has to be one of those two. Just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on who you think would be good for Bray Wyatt's next feud. Also, what do you guys think about the Lucha Dragons and Neville and how they're doing on the main roster? I mean, we saw great things the first couple weeks from Adam Rose and Bo Dallas, and then they fizzled horribly. So are we going to be able – I mean, Neville fought Seth Rollins. You can't get a bigger rub than that. And he did a great job. I thought that was a great match. Of course, I knew they were going to have a good match. They know each other from the Indies, but can Neville sustain? Will they have something for him? Will they keep him relevant? Or is he going to be the next Adam Rose? If you guys want to talk about this. Also, if Troy's on the show this week, I'd like to get Troy's thoughts on WrestleMania. We didn't get a chance to hear from him last week. And if not, Andy, no talking about Soup. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
All right, what are your thoughts on WrestleMania?
Well, at least, I actually listened last week. And not one mention of that I wasn't on the show. So at least someone remembered I was gone. WrestleMania was awesome. I loved it. I completely agree with you that it was probably one of the best in the past 10 years. Leading up to it, I wasn't so sure, but, we we talked about it beforehand that we weren't sure how the main event was going to go, and it wound up being an amazing main event. I mean, the match itself was great. The ending was amazing. Obviously, I'm partial to the person who came out champion. I thought other than the really ridiculous entrances for some people, I thought it was a really good show.
Gee, whose entrances could you possibly be talking about?
Definitely not the guy that came out with the big plastic skulls.
All right. Raw was boring. I will agree with that completely. Raw was kind of meh. But Neville versus Rollins was amazing.
Right. The man who forgot his first name, or as I like to call him, Captain Flippy Nips, decided
the man whose first name Gravity forgot.
Yes, right. Captain Flippy Nips did a good job. Kicked Seth Rollins right in the dick, which was good. We'll give you a second to recover there.
I'm sorry. I'm just confused by that.
Well, he does little flips in the ring, you see.
Yeah.
And he has really, now watch the next match. You're gonna notice every time he has really dark nipples, and every time that's all you can see. That's all I can see when I watch a match. It's just I don't know. Watch it next. Next time you watch him in a match, you're gonna be like, he does have kind of dark nipples.
Son of a bitch. God damn it.
Son of a bitch, man. Yeah, he did great. Lucha Dragons. I like the fact that we're just pretending that Sin Cara is new. Just like we pretended that he's the original Sin Cara as well.
Yeah.
He just got a tattoo. I don't know what everyone's I'll talk about. I think it's kind of cool for them to kind of breathe new life into the tag team division since you've got one of the Usos out with injury. Nobody gives a shit about Los Matadores. So it's nice to see them. They're kind of trying to build the Ascension back up again, but also kind of not. So
yeah,
Adam is taking his penis out.
All right. not yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt.
Hmm?
I don't remember much about the promo. I don't really like the idea of him feuding with Ryback or Roman Reigns at this point. I don't think that makes sense for anyone.
No. It's got to be Papa Shango.
There you go. The Lucha Dragons, yeah, we talked about them. And yeah, Raw was boring. So if you want to send us a listener mail, if you want to give us a voicemail, give us a call, 206-202-6478, 206-20.
Thanks.
All right, vamp for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. And then I'll cut this part out later.
For those of you watching at home, Adam has left the room. It looks like he is watching the Weather Channel on TV. Pretty boring. I don't know where he went. Maybe he's put into his wife. I don't know. But yeah. Make her call you dirty. Get on it. Oh no, we're going to lose our one listener because I'm not talking. I see shadows moving. Adam's wife is coming to Frank now. Hello. How are you doing? I'm on a computer here. This is. Oh, that works. Excellent. Those are nice. Sean on the side over here says, I think he took a bathroom break. Must have had too much soup. Good callback, Sean. And he has returned. What? I was waiting patiently for you to get back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back.
God damn it.
That commercial break is brought to you
by
JR's
audibletrial.com. audibletrial.com/rundown.
/rundown.
Help me make money.
Use promo code
Sean.
Bald Host.
Sean says, give Divas a chance. Psych. Just kidding. I'm out of here.
Just kitten.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Ping pong.
Just kidding.
King Kong. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
And I think he took a bathroom break. He must have had too much soup.
Good call.
That was a bathroom break. I have a stent in my kidney, and when I have to pee, I really fucking have to pee.
Should have took the camera in there with you.
Hell kind of a show do you think this is?
One that needs more viewers.
Show? I don't give a shit about that anymore.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck them.
I do this for me, okay? I do this for me.
That's right. You do this for you and your one viewer on the side. You do this for Sean.
Yeah, we do this for Sean, okay?
Yeah, we do this for Sean. You know, Sean was a Make-A-Wish kid about 2 years ago. And he survived a lot longer than we thought he
did
would.
have a brain tumor. That's truth. All right, do we want to let's finally get to the showdown, shall we? It's been 3 weeks. Let's finally get to the showdown.
What is the showdown you speak of?
If you remember, if you think way back in your memory banks, you'll remember that our last showdown matchup was Jeremy Piven and Summerfest
Ooh.
versus Hornswoggle and the Christmas Battle Royal. Microphone's loose. All right. The first comment just says, I like turtles.
Who doesn't?
Holy shit. Are we in year 2 of this damn thing? Seriously? Well, midgets are bad. I voted for the other one. Let's see who wins when we finally conclude this in 2020. The angle was dumb. He should have never won.
Could be
Who the fuck is Jeremy Piven? I thought this was a fucking wrestling podcast. Okay, some stupid faggot said Summerfest in place of SummerSlam. Fuck him. At least Hornswoggle took a joy fat, I think it's supposed to say jolly, fat pedophile backstage and got banged so hard he can now talk. While Hornswoggle is Nambla's wet dream, a 30-year-old that looks like he's 7. Midgets need loving too.
Thanks, Andy.
That was actually probably Chris. This one just says, yeah. Jeremy Piven is the only thing that can out Hornswoggle. Santa and Hornswoggle, Hornswoggle and Santa. Just know. Because Christmas episodes of Raw are always horrible and should be replaced with a WrestleMania from the 90s. Fuck, they're both 3 hours anyways. And the winner, by I don't remember how many votes, but by 56 points.
Oh.
Of course, Hornswoggle and the Christmas Battle Royal.
So in 6 years, when we're done with this one, are we going to then do a field of 64 Hornswoggle appearances?
In 6 years, when we're done with this one, we're never doing this again. We have made it to the end of the first round. This is the last matchup in the first round.
Wow, that only took us like half a year.
Right? This is, by the way, this is Sean's fault. Because we had an episode where Sean kept going, well, how come this isn't a tournament? How come this isn't a tournament? So I had to expand it from 32 to 64. No, from 16 to 32. So it's your fault. This is taking forever. Quit your bitching. The last matchup in the first round. Kathy Lee and Hoda guest hosting Raw versus Titus O'Neil getting food poisoning and throwing up in JBL's hat.
You could literally do a 64 field of just throw up things on WWE. Come on. How many times has this happened now?
So for those of you who have been lucky enough to forget, there was an episode of Raw where Kathy Lee and Hoda guest hosted and decided to hold the 4th hour of the Today Show in the middle of the ring with Adam Rose, and then Kathy Lee refused to crowd surf. And then, Titus O'Neil threw up in JBL's hat.
I do find it incredibly funny that... hold on a second. I just lost my train of thought. Going back to that voicemail, there was a time that Adam Rose was good. Is that what I took from that? Adam Rose showed up and was good for a little bit. That's what he said.
He was entertaining for a little bit. And then his vignettes were entertaining. And then, and then he lost to, I don't remember who it was that ended his little winning streak that he had. And now he's comedy. Yay, comedy, because Santino left.
Yeah. Plus, he's got a weird-looking bird chest.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any pictures of that guy from like 3 years ago? Like, did he just stop taking steroids? Is that what it is?
It's not weirder than Kofi's chest, I bet.
Kofi's chest is pretty fucked up, too.
Yes. All right. Moving on. This was from something from last week that we didn't get to talk about because I gave up. TNA registered a few trademarks last week. 2 weeks ago at this point. One of which stands out to me. They trademarked Dirty Heels, The Rising, and hashtag Stand Up.
Hashtag Stand Up.
I did not realize you could trademark a hashtag.
I assume that hashtag Stand Up, it means that they've signed draws.
Wow.
Too soon?
That was impressive. That was impressively offensive. You should be proud of that one.
I am. Part of TNA's new hashtag stand-up program. And now a word from our spokesperson, Darren Drozdoff, for hashtag stand-up. Darren, what has happened to you since D'Lo Brown Sky High?
No, I'm just going to let you go on this riff. Just please continue.
How has life been since D'Lo Brown Sky High you right out of the wrestling career? Well, kind of offended by your hashtag. End of video.
Oh, sure. Take it back now.
Look, I'll cash the check, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
I'm still puking, but it's no longer on command.
Yeah, and yeah. Or hashtag. I assume. Let's see. I was gonna do a Dirty Heels joke at first, but then when that one hit me, that stand up.
Instead of puke, can you now call me shit my pants?
Yeah. Can you call me colostomy bag?
We're awful.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a couple weeks ago about how Razor Ramon had to go in the Hall of Fame as Razor Ramon, but Kevin Nash gets to go in the Hall of Fame as Kevin Nash. Apparently, that was because of Kevin Nash, because they wanted to put him in as Diesel, and he said, "Fuck that noise," and insisted on going in under his real name. Partly because the narrative from WWE was, if you'll remember, Diesel was one of the worst WWF champions of all fuck time.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that.
This is, again, assuming that the Hall of Fame actually matters and what name you're in on the Hall of Fame matters. I mean, it's been, what, 14 years since WCW went under?
Yep.
And we still are doing this shit where we're not. They own fucking WCW.
Yep.
Is it so hard to be like, he's going in as Diesel and Kevin Nash? He's going as Razor Ramon and Scott Hall. Because guess what? Scott Hall and Kevin Nash had much better careers after they left WWE. Sure as fuck won more titles.
Yeah.
But as we've seen from this year, title wins don't matter. Oh, I'll bring it up again. I don't give a fuck. I'll bring up the fact. I'll bring up the fact that collectively, this group of Hall of Famers doesn't have as many title wins as Kofi Kingston. I'll bring it up. Yeah, Diesel had what? 1, 2 WWE title reigns. Rikishi had 0 WWE championship wins. The Bushwhackers didn't win a single fucking title. Yeah, but you know what? Kevin Nash was the headliner, which means that his championship runs were much better than the Macho Man Randy Savage's by WWE standards. Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's not like they could have Macho come and cut a speech, then, could they?
They could have. I was available. You could have flown me out there. I would have come out there. And I don't give a fuck. They could have called Jay Lethal. He does a pretty good impression too. He was literally a Macho Man character called Black Machismo for a while.
Yep.
That was the thing that happened. Hey, everyone who hates WWE's stupid gimmicks, remember that TNA had Black Machismo and Black Rain, which was Goldust's gimmick.
Yeah.
He came on with a ball gag in his mouth. That was the thing that happened. They also had Orlando Jordan that came out with lotion and sprayed it on his chest.
The less said about Orlando Jordan.
All right, moving on. So you get me on a show where you just get negativity.
There's no segue.
There is no
segue
between a guy jizzing on his chest.
Yeah. There is no segue between Orlando Jordan coming on his own chest with lotion and anything else that we will ever talk about on this show. So with that said, speaking of AJ, we just edit out the last 20 minutes.
We're just gonna take it. It's gonna go from Kevin Nash talk straight to AJ now. Kevin Nash got into the Hall of Fame. AJ, but
Alex Riley, who's been doing some good things in NXT recently, pissed off a lot of people on Twitter.
Oh, go figure.
After AJ retired, posting, quote, "I just got 4-3-15 tattooed on my neck." AJ, as you may remember, got a neck tattoo of the date that she first won the WWE Divas Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, April 3rd was the date that it was announced that she had retired.
Yeah.
So
dick move.
A little bit.
On top of that, good to know that Alex Riley is another one of those fucking wrestling douchebags that thinks that there's these stupid unwritten rules. You know, people gave her so much heat for that because wrestling championships are swerves and not something to be celebrated. Yeah, they are, dude.
Yeah.
So
it means you're the best. It means you're the best. Yeah. You're the best in that division at what you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they gave her that championship.
Although Nikki Bella being a champion would speak otherwise.
Yeah, but at least with Nikki, she's over as a heel. You know, I mean, there are far worse people that they could throw the belt on. At least somewhat over, I should say. But comparatively, the Divas division, she gets a reaction.
Nah.
And more than just, is the line for the bathroom pretty short now? Because I'm just going to go. I mean, I see you're out there, but I don't fucking care. So, yeah, I mean, everyone was good about it. Even the Bellas, who, as we know, hate everybody. We even said, like, oh, it's a big loss for the division, and they were playing nice and everything and that. But, yeah, Alex Riley, nice. Give Divas a chance, kitten.
Speaking of Chris Jericho,
again,
I have no segues tonight.
That's as good as you're gonna get.
So it was announced this week that Tough Enough is coming back on June 23rd to the USA Network, and apparently it's going to have a whole new format. We've talked about it on this show before. It's going to have a whole new format, almost like American Idol, where the fans get to vote each week on who stays and who goes. Steve Austin asked to host. Had to turn it down because he is going back to his Broken Skull Challenge show on CMT, which is the only show you would ever catch me watching on CMT, because honestly, it's kind of entertaining. And now it's being rumored, and of course this is rumors because it's the fucking internet, and what else are you going to do? It's being rumored that Chris Jericho will host the new season of Tough Enough on the USA Network starting on June 23rd.
Host I have no problem with. Actually, I mean, Jericho would probably be a really good trainer, but considering that it's WWE, I'm sure that they'll have Adam Rose be the trainer. So, yeah, I'm cool with Bill DeMott. Come on. The fucking mid-Carter Bill DeMott was the head trainer.
Oh, I get your joke. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, either that or Titus O'Neil. So, head trainer Great Khali will probably do a really good job.
Did you see there's an interview this week where he is talking about how he's, he took time, he left WWE on his own to start some wrestling school in India, and now that that's up and running, he's going to come back. Please don't. Please don't ever.
No.
Please don't ever.
Well, the midget isn't doing anything right now, so he needs a new tag team partner.
God's Mistake needs to come back.
Yes. Yes. I assume that's how the creative meeting went. We got a midget who can wrestle, kind of, and we've got this big hulking fucking moron who we're pretty sure can't even bend his knees.
I was gonna say who can't talk and who can barely walk.
Yeah. So tag team, and maybe throw in Natalia. And then maybe have Natalia date the big freak.
Well, they can't do that because she's married now. That'll be his first feud when he comes back. He'll be feuding with Tyson Kidd over Natalia.
I hit it first, Tyson.
That was far too understandable.
That's right. Sorry.
And this has been Racist Punjab Accents with Adam and Troy.
I'm assuming that his first feud would be Rusev, and then Rusev would just snap him in half when he puts him
That would be a hell of a thing to watch, I'll tell you that much.
That would be. Maybe make him feud against Jericho and see if he can actually put the walls of Jericho in someone who doesn't have kneecaps.
Yeah, his legs would break. Like Jericho would just be left standing there holding his legs.
What the fuck?
Speaking of being relegated to SmackDown, SmackDown moving to the USA Network in January of next year. After having been on Sci-Fi since 2010, it's being done kind of as a ratings grab, kind of as a PR thing to make the USA Network your cable home for the WWE.
Hey, so did you not get enough Raw on USA Network? Tune into SmackDown and watch a complete recap of the show.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna have Raw on Mondays. You're gonna have Tough Enough, presumably on Tuesdays. I think that's what date June 23rd is. And then starting next year, you'll get your SmackDown on Thursdays. And then on Friday, you'll kill yourself.
Yeah. You'll get NXT Wednesdays. You'll get the whatever Jerry Springer show he's got on Saturdays.
Jesus Christ.
You'll get the stupid fucking Seth Green cartoon on Sundays.
Yeah, that's another thing we were going to talk about last week, but didn't because fuck my life. They announced some new programming during WrestleMania, and the day after they put out a whole press release. Yeah, we've got an animated show from Seth Green called Camp WWE, which we talked about on the podcast before. Mm-hmm. Josh and I talked about it when they first announced they were doing casting for it, like a year and a half ago. Yep. You've got Jerry Springer's WWE Too Hot for TV. Why? And then also in the why department, but a little more intriguing than that, is something from the fellas at Dick House. Mm-hmm. Swerved.
We're just going to follow Vince Russo around.
WWE Jackass.
Yeah.
Because why not?
So I assume that's where Hornswoggle's going. Yeah. So then we got
WWE Man.
WWE Man, that's right. We first got that the NXT Takeaway specials were going to be monthly. Then they're like,
oh no, that was a mistake.
Psych. Just kidding. Nope, instead it's going to be quarterly. And what else did we get on that whole shit? Oh yeah, that's right.
Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling is coming to the network.
Oh, that'll be great.
Your classic 80s cartoon Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
That's right.
Also coming to the network on Monday, I believe, are the episodes of Monday Night Raw from 1998. The Attitude Era comes to the network.
Yeah. Watch all of your semi-edited TV on the WWE network. We're gonna just edit out every Chris Benoit reference.
Yeah.
Every time that you hear just silence during a Chris Benoit match, they're saying that he's killing somebody.
The radicals, the arthriticals, are going to become the arthriticals.
That's nice. I like that. So this new format for Tough Enough. Now, I am kind of intrigued by it. I loved Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they continue to pick wrong people for the winners.
Yep.
Or they booted Matt Cross off the first fucking week. That was stupid.
Yep.
So they're going to do it like an American Idol thing. So they're going to be like, if you liked Jake's Tombstone Pile Driver, dial 677-543. That's how we're going to do it.
They'll probably do it through the app, through the WWE app.
Yes, that's right. Log into your
so
app.
that they can tell us.
If you don't know how to download the app, you're probably fucking retarded.
Yep.
Or 3 years old.
Yep.
Once you download the app, make sure that you vote who has the better spandex.
Right. I don't really have anything else to talk about, unless you want to talk about Scott Steiner, but I don't really care about that.
Big Papa Pump.
Threatening Hulk Hogan's life in an airport in San Jose at WrestleMania, and then being banned from the Hall of Fame.
I assume every one of that guy's conversations ends with him threatening to kill somebody. TNA brought him in, and they're just like, "So do you want to resign? I'm gonna fucking kill you."
So he talked to TMZ apparently, and of course denied the whole thing. So it's not my fault. Hulk Hogan's afraid of me. Yeah.
I don't think anyone can do a Scott Steiner impression.
Huh?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because you gotta kind of sound like you might be homosexual, but you've also got to be like just shocked, so full of steroids it's coming out of your bloodstream.
I've never heard Scott Steiner's voice described as kind of homosexual.
Kind of homosexual, a little bit. Got a little bit of a lisp to him, but that's mainly because his tongue is so bloated with steroids, you can't talk around it.
All right. Do you have anything else to talk about?
Nope.
Good. Well, let's wrap it up then. That does it for this. The rundown for this Thursday, April 9th, 2015. 138 days since Nikki Bella won the WWE Divas Championship. APW returns this Saturday with Spring Loaded 4 to the APW Arena at the Newbury Fire Hall in Newbury, Massachusetts. Go to AtlanticProWrestling.com. Liberty States returns Saturday, April 25th with Collision Course and Lucky Pro Wrestling Mayhem at the Elks Lodge in Clinton, Mass. on Saturday, May 16th. Follow me on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. Go to Rundown. Send your feedback, your catchphrase suggestions, your fake sponsors, or your real sponsors. Send us $50. We'll say whatever the fuck you want to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail, 206-202-6478. Like us on Facebook and tell your parents to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. Make donations at rundown.podomatic.com. Go to youtube.com/rundownpodcast to watch archived episodes. Google.com/plus Adam Rundown Host to circle me on Google+. Buy some poetry at tinyurl.com/distant horizons. Go to shadowvein.net for some other crap. Search for us on iTunes or Stitcher under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. We are free. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, leave us a review on both of those platforms. I'm trying to rush through this.
Make sure to tell Andy to actually cast me in Shadow Vein.
Yeah. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to Sean on the side. Thanks to Troy.
Thank you. And make sure to go to audible.com and use the promo code Get Your Dick Hard for 10%.
audibletrial.com/rundown.
Oh, whatever.
Thanks to iFightDragons at iFightDragons.com for the theme song. Next week, more of this crap. Why not?
Yeah.
And as always, Jacob, good night and good luck. Fondong, go fuck yourself. And tune in next week for another befuddling episode of the Rundown Wrestling Podcast.
Bye-bye. Stop. Export audio. What number is this one? Whatever. Oh, yeah. Hello out there. I couldn't help but notice that you're still here. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where is everybody? Where did you all go? I'm not wearing any pants. Nobody on the internet wears pants. Yeah. Looks like Adam is gone again. Oh, hello, kitty. How are you doing? Have you come to play, little kitty? Yeah, you're in my world now. Yeah. Oh, look at you. Yeah. This is a special treat for our audience. Everyone gets to see me try to talk with a kitty cat. Where'd you go, kitty? Come back. We could have some fun. Attention all you freaks and geeks out there. It's time to play a little Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. What's going on over there? There's a lot of noise, but not a lot of movement. Hello, rundown podcast audience. It's getting pretty hot in here. Ouch. Why are you hitting me? Hold down 2 fingers to block. Now defeat your opponent.
What are you talking about?
Oh, they just released a Mortal Kombat game on iOS.
Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah, it's essentially just WWE Immortals and
I downloaded that the other day and I tried playing it, and I really don't see the fun in it.
oh, I just blasted a hole in Sub-Zero's chest.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, his heart came out. Oh, I'm supposed to be swiping things. Oh, no, his face ran off. Oh, no.
Yeah, my problem with that is there's nothing that tells you when it's about to go, okay, swipe. So I'm tapping and swiping, and then that thing suddenly appears and I'm already in the middle of going to swipe, and so I end up swiping in the wrong direction. And he goes, "Oh, I failed." I'm like, fuck you! You didn't tell me.
Oh, this doesn't. My team isn't even made up of like Mortal Kombat people. Look at this. Let's see if I can get them in there. So that is Sergeant,
Trooper. Sure.
and then the first guy is Shirai Ryu. So I'm assuming that's that guy. But yeah, Sergeant and Trooper. I don't remember those people in the game. And I've played pretty much every game, so I understand